Konnichiwa! Welcome back. In this video, we will learn new Japanese grammar from the Minna no Nihongo textbook, Lesson 14. Here, we will learn verb conjugations such as te form of the verb and how to use them in a sentence. それでは始めましょう。Here are the grammar points that we would learn in this lesson. The first one is about verb conjugations. Verb conjugations or modifying verbs and sometimes attaching words to it in order to give it a different meaning. So far we've learned and been using the mas form of the verb. It is when the verb ends in masu. Using the mas form shows politeness. There is another form which is the dictionary form or the plain form. Plain form is what you use on a daily basis or in a casual setting. It is also called dictionary because this is how the verbs are written if you look at the dictionary. In Lesson 13, we've learned how to modify verbs by removing the masu and attaching nani nani ni ikimasu into it to express that we want to go to do something. In this lesson, we will learn how to modify the verbs from mas form to te form. But first, we need to identify in which group a verb belongs to so we will know how to modify them. Japanese verbs are classified into 3 groups. So for the first group, the syllable before the masu are in the I line. For example, I, chi, ri, mi, ni, bi, ki, gi, shi, and so on. So here we have kaimasu, mochimasu, kaerimasu, nomimasu, shinimasu, yobimasu, kikimasu, kakimasu, isogimasu, shimasu, and ikimasu. For the second group, if you look at the syllable that comes before masu, they are from the I or e line, and sometimes from the I line as well. For example, tabemasu, akemasu, shimemasu, takemasu, oshiemasu, tsukemasu, mimasu, karimasu, imasu, and okimasu. And lastly, for the third group or the irregular verbs, we only have 2 verbs, shimasu and kimasu. Next is we will learn how to change the verb from mas form to te form. So this is group 1 verbs. There are different rules in modifying the verb from group 1 depending on what syllable comes before mas. If the syllable before mas is I, chi, ri, we replace the sounds and masu with small tsu followed by te. Te. For verbs where the syllable before mas are ni, or bi, we replace it with de. For verbs where the syllable before mas is ki, we replace that with I, te. And for verbs where the syllable before mas is gi, we replace that with I, de. And for verbs where the syllable before mas is shi, we keep the shi and replace mas with te. And lastly, the only exception is the verb ikimasu. Even though the syllable before mas is ki, we modify it by removing ki and replacing it with small tsu and te. So you just have to remember this particular verb. Here is the te form of the following verbs. For kaimasu, it becomes katte. Mochimasu becomes motte. Kaerimasu becomes kaite. Nomimasu becomes nonde. Shinimasu becomes shinde. Yobimasu becomes yonde. Kikimasu becomes kiite. Kakimasu becomes kaite. Isogimasu becomes isoide. Kashimasu becomes kashite. And ikimasu becomes itte. So one technique that I've learned from one of my teachers when I was still studying Japanese is to just remember this. Ichirite, mi ni bin de. Ichirite, mi ni bin de. When the syllables are I, chi, or ri, you attach te. And when the syllables are mi, ni, bi, you attach nde. Next is how to change must form of the verb to te form of the verb from group 2. Here it is very easy. We only need to change mas to te. So we remove mas and replace that with te. Just like so. Tabemasu becomes tabete. Akemasu becomes akete. Shimemasu becomes shimete. Kakemasu becomes kakete. Oshiemasu becomes oshiete. Tsukemasu becomes tsukete. Mimasu becomes mite. Karimasu becomes karite. Imasu becomes ite. Okimasu becomes okite. And lastly, how to form the te form of the verb from group 3. Like I said, we only have 2 verbs in this group, and those are shimasu and kimasu. Just like in group 2, we only change masu to te. Just like so. Shimasu becomes shite. Kimasu becomes kite. For example, nani nani o shite. At the end of this lesson, I will include a bonus lesson wherein I will explain how to change verbs in its dictionary form to te form. So if you're interested to know that, make sure to watch until the very end. There are many uses for the te form of the verb, and in this lesson, we will learn 2 of them. The most basic usage of the verb te form is giving commands or instructions or asking someone to do something using the following conjugations. Verb te, kudasai. So please do verb. Kudasai means please. Do verb is verb in te form. For example, excuse me, please tell me your name. Excuse me is sumimasen. And your name is onamae. O. And then our verb tell, which is oshiemasu. Here we remove masu and replace that with te. Oshiete. And then please. Kudasai. Sumimasen. Onamae o oshiete kudasai. It's cold, so please close the window. It's cold is samui kara. So, please close the window. Window is mado. Mado o close is shimemasu. We remove mas and replace that with te. Shimete. Followed by please. Kudasai. Samui kara mado o shimete kudasai. Please call me Rose. Rose to yobimasu or yo. We remove bimasu and replace that with nde. Rose to yonde kudasai. Rose to yonde kudasai. So this is a useful phrase when you want to tell someone to call you by a certain name. Rose to yonde kudasai. Please come here tomorrow. Tomorrow, ashita. Here, koko, ni. Come, kite, kudasai. Ashita koko ni kite kudasai. Please hurry up. Hurry up is isogimasu. So it becomes isoide kudasai. Isoide kudasai. Good luck. Do your best or keep it up. Good luck is gambarimasu. In the te form, it becomes gambatte kudasai. Gambatte kudasai. Please wait for a moment. For a moment is chotto. Wait is machimasu or matte kudasai. Chotto matte kudasai. Everyone, please listen. Everyone is minasan. Listen is kikimasu. It becomes kiite followed by kudasai. Minasan kiite kudasai. On a normal conversation or to be more commanding, you can just say the te form of the verb without kudasai. For example, isoide, hurry. Or gambatte, good luck. Matte, wait. Kiite, listen. But we add kudasai to be more polite. So please hurry up. Or please wait. Or please listen. Another use of verb te form is adding it to imasu, which becomes verb teimasu, meaning is doing verb. So this is to express a continuous or a progressive action, or an action that is happening at the moment. For example, it's raining. Rain is ame. Ame ga. To fall or to precipitate, the verb is furimasu. In te form, it becomes futte and then followed by imasu. Ame ga futteimasu. It's raining. I'm writing a letter. Letter is tegami. O. Writing or write is kakimasu. In te form, it becomes kaite. Tegami o kaiteimasu. Tegami o kaiteimasu. The baby is sleeping. The baby is akachan. Ga or wa. Sleeping or sleep. Sleep is nemasu. In te form, it becomes nette. Followed by imasu. Akachan ga netteimasu. Mr. Yamada is making a phone call. Yamada-san wa denwa o kakete imasu. Yamada-san wa denwa o kakete imasu. So notice that the last part is one word. So futteimasu, kaiteimasu, netteimasu, kaketeimasu. We can also turn this into a question by simply adding ka at the end. Are you doing verb? Verb teimasu ka? Is it raining? Ame ga futteimasu ka? What are you writing? Nani o kaiteimasu ka? Are you listening? Anata wa kiiteimasu ka? Anata wa kiiteimasu ka? What are you doing right now? Anata wa ima nani o shiteimasu ka? Anata wa ima nani o shiteimasu ka? We can also apply what we've learned in the previous lessons to change the tense of the verb. We can make it negative present progressive by changing it to verb teimasen. Is not doing verb. We can also make it into a positive past progressive tense. Verb teimashita. Was doing verb. We can also make it into a negative past progressive tense with verb teimasen deshita, or was not doing verb. For example, it's not raining. Ame ga futtei ません. 雨が降っていません. So, います becomes いません. I was listening. So, this is a positive past progressive sentence. Was doing verb. 私は聞いていました. 私は聞いていました. Next is I wasn't doing anything yesterday. This is a negative past progressive sentence. Was not doing verb. 私は昨日何も so nothing or anything していませんでした。昨日何もしていませんでした。Next is how to tell someone that you want to do something for them. So the speaker is offering to do something for the listener. So we use the pattern verb minus masu or the stem of the verb and add mashoka. Meaning, shall I do verb? For example, shall I carry those luggages? Luggages is 荷物を and our verb is carry or 持ちます. 持ち. So we remove ます and add ましょうか. 荷物を持ちましょうか. If you want to say, oh, I'm sorry, yes, please. すみません、お願いします. Another example, isn't it hot? Shall I open the window? Isn't it hot is 暑くないですか? So it could also mean aren't you hot or isn't it hot? Shall I open the window? 窓を open is 開けます。開け so we remove ます and add ましょうか。暑くないですか? 窓開けましょうか? If you want to say, yes, it is. Please open it a little bit. そうですね。少し開けてください。少し means a little. 開けて open. So we added ください to be more polite. 少し開けてください。Please open it a little bit. Shall I help you with work? Work is 仕事。仕事を help is 手伝います or 手伝いましょうか。仕事を手伝いましょうか。If you want to refuse politely, you can say いいえ、結構です。No, thank you. No, it's okay. Thank you. Next is the pattern S1 が S2. In lesson 8, we've learned that が is also used to connect two sentences. For example, Japanese food is delicious, but it is very expensive. 日本の食べ物は美味しいですが、とても高いです。In lesson 14, が is attached to the word excuse me, which are 失礼します or 失礼 or すみません as an opening line to get the listener's attention when you are asking for a favor. For example, excuse me, but may I have your name? 失礼ですが or 失礼ですがお名前は失礼ですがお名前は Another example, I'm sorry, but please pass me the salt. Or, excuse me, but please pass me the salt. すみませんが塩を取ってください。すみませんが塩を取ってください。So the main difference between 失礼ですが and すみませんが is that 失礼ですが is usually used to ask for information from the listener such as their name or address or 住所. On the other hand, すみませんが is used when the speaker wants to ask the listener to do something for him or her, such as, please pass me the salt. And lastly is using particle ga to indicate the noun or to mark the noun where the noun is a natural phenomenon. For example, it's raining. So we've encountered this example earlier in this lesson. So our sentence would literally goes like, rain is precipitating. So, ame ga. So here, ame is marked by the particle ga. Ame ga. Precipitating is furimasu. Or, since it's happening right now, we say, futteimasu. Ame ga futteimasu. It's snowing. So, the same thing. Snow is falling. Yuki ga. So again, our noun is marked by the particle ga. We use the same verb, which is furimasu, and it becomes futteimasu. Yuki ga futteimasu. Last example, the wind is blowing. Wind is kaze. Kaze ga blowing is fuiteimasu. Kaze ga fuiteimasu. Okay, let's have a short recap of what we've learned today. First is how to form the te form of the verb. For group 1, sometimes it would change to te, nde, ite, ide, and so on. For group 2 and group 3, we simply just remove mas and replace that with te. Next is how to ask someone to do an action by using the te form of the verb and followed by kudasai. Examples, 名前を教えてください。窓を開けてください。どうぞと呼んでください。ここに来てください。Next is how to express that an action is ongoing. We say verb ています。For example, 雨が降っています。手紙を書いています。赤ちゃんが寝ています。And to ask the question, what are you doing? 何をしていますか? Next is how to express that you want to do something for someone. Shall I do an action? By using the verb stem or verb minus masu and adding mashoka. Examples, 荷物を持ちましょうか? 窓を開けましょうか? 仕事を手伝いましょうか? For our conversation practice, I only have one question, and that is, 今何をしていますか? Like I said, I will explain how to modify verbs from dictionary form to te form, and they would still end up in the same way. How to change the verb from dictionary form to te form. First is group 1. Here we have the mas form of the verb. So first, let's change this to dictionary form. So all you have to do is change the I line into U line. For example, kaimasu becomes kau. Mochimasu becomes motsu. Kaerimasu becomes kaeru. Nomimasu becomes nomu. Shinimasu becomes shinu. Yobimasu becomes yobu. Kikimasu becomes kiku. Kakimasu becomes kaku. Isogimasu becomes isogu. Kashimasu becomes kasu. And ikimasu becomes iku. So from dictionary form to te form, here are the rules. So for verbs ending in u, tsu, and ru, we change those into small tsu followed by te. For verbs ending in mu, nu, and bu, we change that to nde. For verbs ending in ku, we change that to ite. For verbs ending in gu, we change that to ide. And for verbs ending in su, we change that to shite. And for our special verb, which is ikimasu, we change ki to small tsu followed by te. Just like so. For the second group, we change them from mas to dictionary form, which is simply by changing mas to ru. So everything ends in ru. Taberu, akeru, shimeru, tsukeru, miru, kariru, iru, okiru. This is also why some of the verbs where the syllable before masu are in the E line belongs to group 2 instead of group 1. Because if you look at the dictionary form, they all end in ru. That's why they're part of the second group. For the third group, shimasu and kimasu, their dictionary form is suru for shimasu, and for kimasu it's kuru. Now, to change this to our te form, all we have to do is change ru to te. Just like so. Okay, so I highly recommend that you start familiarizing yourself with the dictionary form of the verbs that we've learned so far, because we will be using them in the future lessons. Okay, so that's it for today's lesson. If you have any questions or clarifications, please comment down below. 下にコメントを書いてくださいね. And if you find this video helpful, please click the like button. And subscribe if you don't want to miss any of the future lessons. For our next lesson, we will learn other uses of the te form. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Mata ne!